cold wind sweeps across the misty highlands. Shadows move in the distance, and a lone figure stands atop a cliff, staring at the horizon. The ground trembles under the weight of history, and the air carries whispers of battles fought and secrets buried. In that silence, one truth emerges. Some bloodlines cannot be broken, no matter how dark the past. The camera glides over rolling Scottish hills, shrouded in fog. The mist hugs the earth, curling around the trees and streams, hiding the path ahead. Thunder rumbles softly in the distance, hinting at the storms to come. On-screen text appears slowly, a legacy written in blood. A faint drumbeat begins, steady and slow, like a heartbeat. It's joined by a soft orchestral swell, carrying both tension and a sense of anticipation. We move closer to a small, isolated cottage at the edge of the forest. Smoke rises from the chimney, twisting into the gray sky. Inside, a candle flickers, casting shadows on the walls lined with old books and letters. The camera lingers on a hand tracing a faded family crest. Worn from generations, the narration begins, calm yet filled with weight. Every family has a story. But some stories are written with fire, with loss, with secrets too dangerous to speak aloud. Outside, the wind picks up. Leaves swirl around, and distant echoes of a horn break the quiet. The camera pans to a figure walking through the fog. Each step is deliberate, careful, as if every movement could awaken the past. On-screen text fades in. Some blood cannot be ignored. The music rises slightly, introducing strings and low brass, building tension without overwhelming. Suddenly, a flash of movement to shadow in the trees, a glimpse of someone watching. The camera cuts quickly between the figure on the path and close-ups of eyes filled with concern and determination. The narration continues. They thought the past was buried. They thought the secrets were safe. But the blood remembers. The scene shifts seamlessly to a battlefield, distant but visible across the hills. Smoke curls into the sky, mingling with fog. And the sound of clashing metal faintly resonates, hinting at the violence that will come. A horse gallops past, raising dust and leaving a trail through the mist. Back in the cottage, letter trembles in the wind from an open window. The camera zooms in on the inked words, blurred but intense. The war is coming, and blood will decide the fate of all. The narration adds a final line for this section. Slow and deliberate, in a world built on loyalty and betrayal. One family's bond will be tested like never before. The music reaches a soft but suspenseful peak. The screen fades to black for a heartbeat, leaving only the faint sound of wind, the distant drumbeat, and the echo of the narration. This is their story. This is the blood of their blood. Fog swirls through the forest, drifting over the same highlands from the first scene. The sun breaks through in scattered rays, highlighting the rugged landscape. A figure moves deliberately along a narrow path, boots crunching against damp leaves. Cloak flapping in the wind, the narration begins, calm but heavy with purpose, Claire. A healer, a mother, a woman torn between the past and the future. Her choices will ripple through generations. The camera cuts to another figure, Jamie, standing tall on a rocky outcrop. His hands grip the hilt of a sword, knuckles white, eyes scanning the horizon. Dust and fog mingle around him like ghosts of battles fought long ago. The narration continues. Jamie, a warrior, a protector, a man bound to honor. Every decision he makes carries the weight of a legacy he cannot escape. Close-up shots reveal subtle gestures, a hand brushing against a family crest, a tear glistening in the corner of an eye, a fleeting expression of worry. On-screen text fades in briefly. Our world is on the edge of chaos. The soundtrack swells slightly low strings under a subtle percussion building tension while remaining restrained. A distant horn echoes, signaling danger beyond the hills. The camera cuts rapidly between characters, Claire tending to herbs in a small room, Jamie mounting his horse, both moving with purpose, yet carrying a silent burden. The narration deepens the stakes. Their enemies are unseen, their threats hidden in shadows. Every choice, every step, could change everything they love. A misty river flows nearby, reflecting the dim light as it moves silently. A figure appears on the opposite bank, watching. The camera focuses on eyes, unreadable but sharp, hinting at danger. On-screen text adds, "Trust is fragile. Secrets are deadly." Quick cuts show brief. Cryptic moments. A dagger glinting in the dark, a letter sealed with wax, footsteps in the fog, a horse galloping through the forest. Each shot is designed to tease the story without revealing too much. Maintaining mystery. The narration adds a final, tense note for this section. In a land shaped by blood, love, and betrayal, only those who are brave enough to face the shadows will survive. The music crescendos slightly, lending strings and distant drums, creating a sense of anticipation. The screen fades to a dark forest, shadows moving among the trees. The distant sound of a horn fades, leaving the viewer with a sense of unease and curiosity. On-screen text fades in one last time for this section. The past is never gone, and neither is the blood that binds them. Thunder rumbles across the highlands as the fog thickens. The camera glides over a deserted village, smoke curling from chimneys, doors swinging in the wind. Silence dominates. But there's an underlying tension. Something unseen stirs in the shadows. The narration begins, slow and tense. A shadow from the past has returned, and nothing will ever be the same. A flicker of movement, a horseman rushing through the mist, hooded and determined. The camera cuts quickly between his approach and Claire in the cottage, sensing that something is wrong. Her hand pauses mid-air as she stirs a pot of herbs. The wind carries an ominous whisper. Echoing through the room, on-screen text appears briefly. Danger comes without warning. The scene shifts to Jamie, standing on the hilltop, scanning the horizon. His eyes narrow. A distant column of smoke rises from the forest beyond the village. The narration continues. When old enemies rise, every secret becomes a weapon. Rapid cuts show subtle but alarming signs of trouble. A letter torn in half. Footprints in the mud leading into the forest, a flicker of a shadow behind a tree. The camera focuses on a glint of steel, an unknown figure holding a dagger. It's barely visible in the fog. The music intensifies slightly, combining low drums and rising strings. A soft heartbeat is layered beneath the score. Increasing tension, close-ups reveal the emotional stakes. Claire's hand trembling as she reaches for a hidden knife. Jamie tightening his grip on his sword, eyes darting toward the unseen threat. On-screen text appears. Trust is tested. Loyalties are broken. The narration adds weight. What was thought buried will rise again. And when it does, the choices they make could cost them everything. The camera pans over a battlefield, long abandoned, but haunted by the past broken swords, toppled shields, and scorched earth. The wind carries faint whispers, like echoes of old battles. Warning of what's to come. Quick flashes tease conflict. A door bursting open. A hand grabbing a cloak, a shadowed figure watching from the tree line. Claire's eyes widening in shock. Each shot is designed to keep viewers on edge while revealing pieces of the story without full explanation. The section closes with narration that bridges suspense and curiosity. The past never forgets. The blood never lies. And soon, every secret will be revealed. The music swells to a tense peak, then drops suddenly, leaving only the echo of the wind and a distant drumbeat. The screen fades to black, leaving a lingering sense of danger and urgency. On-screen text lingers briefly. The battle begins, and nothing will be the same. Rain begins to fall softly over the highlands, blurring the lines between sky and earth. The camera glides through the mist toward Claire, standing alone on a cliff, her cloak soaked and hair plastered to her face. She stares out over the hills, a mix of determination and fear in her eyes. The narration starts, gentle but charged with emotion. Every choice comes with a cost. Every decision carries a weight no one can see. Cut to Jamie, kneeling beside a small campfire, his hand steadying a map while his eyes scan the darkness around him. His face is tense, muscles tight. The camera lingers on his hands, the grip of a soldier, the hands of a man who is loved and lost. On-screen text appears subtly. Love, loyalty, sacrifice. The music softens to a haunting piano, underlined with low strings, emphasizing the emotional gravity. A distant wolf howls, echoing across the valleys. Underscoring isolation and vulnerability, flashbacks appear briefly. Almost like memories. Claire holding a child in a candlelit room. Jamie embracing her after a battle, laughter and joy mingling with fear. The narration continues. They fight not only for survival, but for the people they cannot lose. For the family that binds them? Even when the world turns against them, a shadow crosses Claire's path, a fleeting figure in the mist. She freezes, hand reaching instinctively for protection, eyes widening with both recognition and dread. The camera cuts rapidly to Jamie, sensing danger, his jaw tightening, ready to act. On-screen text emphasizes the tension. Even love cannot shield them from the past. The soundtrack swells, blending piano, strings, and subtle percussion, heightening suspense while keeping the focus on emotional resonance. Quick visual flashes hint at threats, a dagger gleaming in the rain, a horse bolting through the mist, a distant torchlight flickering against the trees. The narration deepens the stakes. When the past collides with the present, hearts are tested, loyalties are questioned, and the ones they love most may become the greatest danger. Close-ups capture subtle expressions, Claire's hand tightening around a locket, Jamie's eyes narrowing with concern, both feeling the invisible pull of destiny and danger. Each frame communicates emotion without a single line of dialogue. The section ends with a lingering shot of the two figures, silhouetted against the stormy sky, separated by distance, yet bound by unspoken trust. The narration concludes, in a world where blood and destiny are intertwined, courage is measured not by battles won, but by the hearts that endure. Music fades slowly, leaving only the soft sound of rain and distant wind. On-screen text lingers. The heart will be tested before the war begins. Dark clouds roll across the highlands, lightning flashing in the distance. The camera sweeps over rugged hills, jagged rocks, and dense forests, capturing the raw, untamed beauty of the landscape. Thunder crashes, signaling the storm and the danger approaching. The narration begins. Tense and urgent, when the shadows gather. The smallest misstep can ignite a war. Quick cuts show Claire running through a rain-soaked forest, cloak whipping behind her, eyes wide with determination. Branches snap underfoot. She pauses, listening, as the distant sound of hooves grows louder. The camera shifts to Jamie, charging through a muddy field on horseback, sword raised, every movement precise and purposeful. Dust, rain, and debris swirl around him, painting a scene of chaotic motion. On-screen text flashes briefly. Every second counts. Rapid montages show glimpses of conflict, a dagger glinting in the dark as it is drawn, a torch illuminating a figure hiding behind trees, horses bolting through misty terrain, soldiers clashing swords on a distant battlefield. The music intensifies, fast-paced percussion, rising strings, and low brass mirroring the urgency on screen. Heartbeat sounds layer subtly beneath the score, creating tension that pulses through every frame. The narration continues. Every step they take, every choice they make, could decide life or death. Close-up shots reveal personal stakes amidst the chaos. Claire narrowly dodging a swinging blade, Jamie shielding a companion from an arrow, a child clutching a blanket in fear. Even in the midst of danger, their humanity and courage shine through. On-screen text punctuates key moments. Courage will be tested. Loyalty will be demanded. A brief pause in the montage slows the action. A momentary calm in the storm. Claire stands on a ridge, rain dripping from her hair, staring at the approaching enemy. Jamie appears beside her, grim and resolute. Their eyes meet, conveying silent understanding. They must face this together. The narration adds weight. In the heart of chaos, only the brave survive, and only the united endure. Action resumes in a rapid montage, a sword striking against armor, a shadowy figure disappearing into the mist, a fire erupting in the distance. Claire and Jamie moving with synchronized purpose. Each cut is designed to thrill, tease the stakes, and keep viewers on the edge of their seats. The section ends with a dramatic freeze frame of Jamie's determined face. Rain streaming down, sword raised. The music swells to a suspenseful peak, then drops to silence, leaving only the sound of wind and distant thunder. On-screen text lingers. The storm is coming, and no one will remain untouched.